Facts and Fossil Talks. I'm your resident paleontologist, Jennifer. This is my sister, Megan. Today's segment is What's with a Name? And today we are talking about Mosasaurs copeanus.
There it is.
What a name. This name I laugh at every time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back in time to the 1860s when a heated war was roaring and at its peak. No, not that war. This one was called the Bone Wars.
Not that kind of bone war.
You took that deep breath and I was afraid. And I should have just...
Yeah, this has the word anus in it, but it's not that type of bone war.
In some ways it was. In some ways it was. So,
this is also true.
The Bone Wars was a battle between renowned paleontologists Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh. At one point they were good friends, and then all out war broke out when they were pitted against each other to find the biggest and the best dinosaur fossils that the West could offer. Now, they did find some stuff on the East Coast, but when they started finding the Morrison sauropods and like Tyrannosaurus Rex and all of that stuff, everybody headed west and they were like, I'm gonna find the biggest. And and when I say heated, I mean it literally got heated. To keep their competition from getting what they wanted, they would go out in the middle of the night and blow up each other's dig sites with dynamite. This was a heated war.
It was kind of explosive.
So, Mosasaurus copeanus, not uncommon to name a species after another paleontologist or a scientist or even a famous person. Recently, they just named a bug. I think it was a prehistoric bug. Might be an extant bug. They named a bug after David Attenborough. So, like, it's not uncommon to name things after people. However, you don't usually tack the word anus onto that name. Usually it's like Peoplesorum or, you know, Charles I or something like that. It's just, it's rude to add anus onto the end.
Don't call me Junior.
But that's exactly what Marsh did. And that was at the beginning of their little conflict, is that Marsh snuck in to Cope's site in, I believe, North Carolina.
Through the back door.
Yep. So he went to Cope's site, talked to the guy that was on someone's private land. He talked to the guy who owned the land and said, if you find something cool here, tell me first. So they found this mosasaur and they told Marsh about it first. So Marsh described it and named it Mosasaurus copeanus. I guess to incite some anger in the fact that he stole this right out from underneath Cope's ass. I'm not entirely sure what his thought process was on this. However, whatever friendship may have been remaining at that point was gone after that. And we no longer have this Mosasaurus copeanus, thank the heavens, because that would have been stuck in the literature forever if it had been legit. But it turned out it was already named by Cope. He had found another one previously, had already given it a name, and now it's not even Mosasaurus. They've actually put it under another mosasaur. So it went through several changes, and now that's no longer in the literature. And generally speaking, they don't pull that stuff back in after it's already been used. And since nobody's particularly angry at a dead guy at this point, it shouldn't come back in any way, shape, or form. But the lesson to be learned from this is, if you're gonna name it after somebody, make sure you name it after somebody you like, because you gotta make you're gonna be using this over and over again as long as it's legit. And you don't want to be rude to the rest of your colleagues, despite how much you may dislike them, because when things like that happen, you get eaten in Jurassic Park. So, try to be nice to your colleagues no matter how much of a douche they may be. Alright? And now you know what's with the name.